it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking college football heading out west. USC at Arizona. It's Masters Week, which means we have a nice little promo for you guys. Use the code MASTERS for 20% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. USC is minus 14 on the road. The total is 67 and a half. The Trojans had a bit of trouble with another Arizona school, Arizona State, last week, winning 28-27, but definitely not covering as 11.5-point favorites. This is Arizona's first game of the season, so a little bit of a question mark when it comes to how they're looking this season. We've got Dan Kaiser joining us to talk this one. Dan, thoughts on USC in Arizona?
This is one of those typical, early, since the Pac-10 just started last week. This is like one of those typical
Pac-12
early.
now.
My fault. I'm old. It's hard to teach me these things. USC got to play last week. They didn't look great in doing it. They had to come from behind to win. But Arizona did not get to play last week because their game was canceled due to COVID. So you got that team coming in. At least got some experience, in-game experience under their belt. I look at this USC. They got Keaton Slovis is back. Many people say he will be the next number one pick in next year's draft. After he looked good against Arizona State, threw for 381 yards, 2 touchdowns. They've got some experienced running backs, and they're loaded at wide receiver. They're going against the Arizona team that, quite frankly, last year was just flat out garbage. Their defense is the worst in the Pac-12, and then they had their best players on their defense said, "Beam me up, Scotty," and entered the transfer portal and left. So you take the best players off the worst defense from the team from in the Pac-12 last year. What are you gonna have? Again, I do like a side on this that I'll have up on Picks and Parlays tomorrow. But for this, I'm gonna take the over in this one too. I know it's another high total, but I just think USC could put up 45 or 50 on their own. Arizona's offense isn't that bad. They got some experience coming back at quarterback. Their quarterback split time last year with Tate Martell. Gunnell's their quarterback this year. He split time last year with the Tate Martell. So he's got some experience. They got a decent running back, so they should be able to move the ball a little bit. It's just that their defense is just terrible. And, the over is 4-0 in the Trojans' last 4 road games, 5-1 in the last 6 Pac-12 games. So I think their offense will score a ton of points. And just as long as, Arizona can get me 14, I think this game goes over the total.
Yeah, something I'd look for in this one is just a bit of sloppy play, because in the USC-Arizona State game, every time I looked up, it looked like somebody was turning the ball over. And I think when it's your first game of the season after a long layoff, it's tough to be sharp, especially for these college kids. So I think that's going to be tough for Arizona to come out sharp against a team that's already had, a game under their belt. That being said, all they have to do is, not lose by 2 touchdowns to cover. But as you said, the numbers there for a reason, I think, but just some other things to look out for. USC also 3-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 3 versus Arizona. Are there any other tidbits you think bettors should know when placing a wager on this game?
Again, I've just noticed this year, I just seem to put a lot of more thing in a team that's played a game against a team that hasn't. Just in this COVID environment, it just seems to make a big difference. And as you said about, sloppy play, that's the one thing Arizona can't do. You can't give Slovis a short field or he'll just kill you.
All right. I think we've had about enough of USC and Arizona. That's going to do it for our college football talk here on Picks and Parlays. As always, great stuff from Dan Kaiser. Dan, thanks for joining us.